Hey there. You know, the mineral conflict in the Democratic Republic of the Congo has been dragging on for over 3 decades now. Yet, somehow, it hasn't sparked the kind of united support across Africa and the diaspora that, say, Burkina Faso's revolution has. So, what's going on? Why haven't we connected the dots to see the Congo struggle as a shared struggle, a fight against the same forces that want to keep us all overexploited and divided, with the Congo as the epicenter? Look, we all get why Burkina Faso and leaders like Ibrahim Traoré inspire us, right? They reflect our hopes and dreams for the continent. But here's the thing, the conflict in the Congo, backed by foreign powers, is actually the flip side of what's happening in the Sahel, an imperialist counterattack against the Pan-African Revolution, only blurred by the illusion of separation. And ignoring one while supporting the other is a mistake that will come back to haunt every African from Pretoria to Nairobi and from Juba to Kinshasa. In the closing of My Country, Africa, revolutionary André Bluen, Patrice Lumumba's chief of protocol, wrote, "We cannot love what we do not know. Knowing comes first, then love follows. Where there is knowledge, surely there will be love." So, perhaps it is the knowing that's amiss. Now, you've probably heard names like M23, Kabila, Tshisekedi, Kagame, and thought, bruh, this is way too complex. So for now, let's just set all that aside. For far too long, the Congo's fight has been framed as just a local issue disconnected from the rest of us, centered around the suffering of the Congolese people, a humanitarian crisis to feel sorry about. But let's be honest, humans have short attention spans, and it's easy to look away when you're not directly affected. So, let's change that. Let's talk about why freeing the Congo from the chains of imperialism and neocolonialism matters to you wherever you are in Africa. Because this isn't just their battle, it's our battle as Africans. Now imagine the Congo as a small Africa, a microcosm of the entire continent's challenges and aspirations. It's 2025 and the same old forces that curved up Africa with colonial borders are back at it. Only this time, they're holding a 21st century Berlin conference and their target, the very heart of Africa. You know the saying, to kill a man swiftly, aim for the heart? Well, that's exactly what's happening in the Congo. So, let's break this down starting with the obvious. Minerals. By now, we all know the Congo sits on vast reserves of cobalt, copper, coltan, and lithium, which are powering our phones, electric cars, and the so-called Green Revolution. The roads of today's modern world all lead back to the Congo. Sure, Africa as a whole is rich in minerals, but the Congo? The Congo is the gold mine, and whoever controls the Congo holds a monopoly over the global economy. What this means is simple. If the Congo remains shackled by imperialism and foreign interests, Africa as a whole will continue to lack true sovereignty. Our economic liberation, our right to live with dignity as equal partners in the global economy, is inseparable from the liberation, sovereignty, and dignity of our brothers and sisters in the Congo. In other words, Africa cannot rise without the Congo, and the West knows this, only we seem oblivious of that fact. That's why you've got the G7, the US, and Europe pushing their partnership for global infrastructure and investment to counter China's Belt and Road Initiative and influence. They do not even attempt to conceal the fact that the Lobito Corridor, celebrated by some as Biden's legacy in Africa, which runs from the Congo's copper belt through Zambia and out to Angola's port, serves as nothing more than a convenient pipeline for resource extraction into Europe via the Atlantic. Essentially, the so-called partnerships with the West are just economic chess moves we're watching unfold from the sidelines without realizing that protecting the Queen, the Congo, is in fact an act of self-preservation. If she falls, we all fall. Because if the goal in the Congo is to prolong a people's suffering to enable continued exploitation and control, why would we think other African nations, also rich in minerals, are any different in the grand scheme of this plan? The same forces that keep the Congo fractured and exploited may have zoomed in on the heart, but make no mistake, they are eyeing every mineral-rich corner of Africa. Their updated colonial project depends on this ongoing division and extraction. So when we see the Congo as a problem separate from us, we fall right into the trap of the illusion of separation. And their successes rely on the Congo remaining fractured, and the updated colonial project relies on the same old tactics of divide and conquer. In reality, the struggle for the Congo's liberation is the struggle for all of Africa's sovereignty and dignity. You could say the Congo, arguably the world's richest country in untapped natural resource deposits, is the West's guinea pig. Once the continent's largest organ is conquered through neocolonial maneuvers, it becomes an easy blueprint to be replicated across the board. And let's not forget, around 43% of Africa's population and a staggering 81% of the Congolese people still lack access to reliable electricity. Yet, the Congo River alone holds the potential to power the entire continent and beyond. But you know who's behind the Grand Enga Dam project, both directly and indirectly? The very same institutions that once supported the apartheid regime in South Africa, the World Bank and the IMF. Their names may sound respectable and inclusive, but they too serve little more than polished PR. In reality, at their helm sit the very imperial forces that fund instability across Africa, who are some of the largest shareholders. So, when we say free the Congo, we must remember that we're also saying free Africa, not as a metaphor, but as a concrete reality. And when we turn a blind eye to the Congo, we must be aware that we're inviting the chains of neocolonial control to grow even tighter for us all. Or, in the words of the great Pan-African revolutionary Frantz Fanon, let us be sure never to forget the fate of all of us is at stake in the Congo.